There is something powerful about how you begin your day. The start of your day is the prophetic announcement of your intention, your expectation, and your posture toward life. Each sunrise is not just another passing of time, but a divine invitation into purpose. And if you are going to walk in purpose, you must learn to start each day with a declaration of who you are, who your God is, and what He has already spoken concerning your life. The word is not passive, it is active. It is living, and it works in the lives of those who believe and align with it. That's why I challenge you, start each day with Jeremiah 29, and not just as a scripture to recite, but as a revelation to embody. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you a future and a hope. Those words are not just historical, they are eternal. That verse is not a motivational quote to pin on a wall. It is the divine heartbeat of a God who doesn't guess, who doesn't gamble, and who never makes mistakes. When God says He knows the plans, it means the plan for your life predates your existence. It means you are not an experiment. You are not random, you are not here by accident. You are a product of divine design. Many people wake up every morning in survival mode. They move from task to task, obligation to obligation, without understanding that every day is a piece of eternity clothed in 24 hours. But when you start your day with Jeremiah 29:11, you remind yourself that you are not here just to make it through the day. You are here to fulfill destiny. You are not here to see what happens. You are here to make what God has already spoken come into being. That is the difference between existing and living. Existing is reacting to life. Living is responding to purpose. It is dangerous to live without hope. Hope is not wishful thinking. It is the confident expectation that something good is coming. And that's what Jeremiah 29 stirs up in your spirit. Every morning when you declare that God has plans for your future, you are shutting down the voice of fear. You are silencing the noise of delay. You are rejecting the lies of the enemy who wants you to believe that your best days are behind you. No, your best days are not behind you. They are ahead of you, waiting for your arrival. You may be waking up in a season that doesn't look like the promise. Your reality may not match the prophecy yet. But you must understand, God's plans are not frustrated by your current condition. Your temporary place of pain does not cancel the eternal purpose of God. The verse was not written to people who were living in ease. It was spoken to those in exile, in bondage, in the middle of discomfort. And yet, God says, I know the plans. He didn't say, I'm figuring out the plan. He didn't say, I'm working on it. He said, I know. That means your future is already settled even when your present is uncertain. God's plan includes the detours. It includes the delays. It includes the disappointments. You may not understand it, but He already included everything in the blueprint. When an architect draws the plan, he doesn't start building before he finishes the design. God is the architect of your destiny. He finished the design before you were born. That means what you are going through today cannot cancel what He already determined for tomorrow. If He said you will prosper, then even in lack, you are on your way to overflow. If He said He will give you a future, then even when it looks like doors are closing, a greater door is already opening. That's why you must stop measuring your life by your circumstances and start measuring your life by His promise. Your conditions are not your conclusion. Your location is not your limitation. You are not defined by what you see. You are defined by what He said. And He said plans to prosper you. Prosperity is not just about money. It's about the full well-being of your soul, your body, your spirit, your relationships, your purpose. God doesn't want you just to survive life. He wants you to thrive in it. But thriving doesn't start outside you. It starts inside you. With the conviction that God's plan still stands, there will be days when the enemy will whisper, nothing is working. There will be moments when you feel forgotten, unseen, and stuck. But that's when you must open your mouth and declare, the Lord has plans for me. He knows where I am. He sees what I cannot, and He is working all things together for my good. You must prophesy over your own life. You must speak what He has spoken until what you say matches what you see. There is a responsibility that comes with embracing divine purpose. You cannot live any kind of way and expect to fulfill what God has for you. Purpose demands posture. You must posture your life around what God has declared. That means you must remove yourself from environments, people, and habits that contradict His plan. You cannot be casual with a calling. You cannot be lazy with destiny. The plan of God is sure, but your alignment is your responsibility. If you want to see the manifestation of Jeremiah 29:11 in your life, then every day must become a strategic step in the direction of that promise. Wake up with intention, speak with conviction, walk with discipline, pray with clarity, dream with boldness, live with faith. Don't just quote the verse, embody it. Let it govern how you respond to crisis. Let it shape how you handle delays. Let it inform how you navigate opposition. God's plan does not eliminate the battle, but it guarantees the victory. You may have experienced failure, but failure is not the final word. You may have made mistakes, but God's plan includes redemption. You may have lost time, but God is the Redeemer of time. You may not have had a perfect past, but you can still walk into a glorious future. That's the beauty of starting every day with Jeremiah 29. It resets your vision, it renews your passion, it restores your confidence in the one who holds your tomorrow. You must also understand that God's plan is not just personal, it's generational. What He is doing in your life is bigger than you. It will impact those connected to you. That's why you cannot quit. That's why you cannot give up. That's why you must endure the process, because someone else's freedom is tied to your obedience. Someone else's breakthrough is connected to your decision to believe. You are not just living for today. You are building for eternity. Even when nothing looks like it's changing, keep declaring the plan. Even when people doubt you, misunderstand you, walk away from you, keep declaring the plan. Even when resources are low and doors are closed, keep standing on the word, because God watches over His word to perform it. He is not a man that He should lie. If He said it, He will do it. If He spoke it, He will bring it to pass. Your responsibility is not to figure out how, it's to believe that He already has. Hope is not the absence of trouble. It is the presence of divine assurance. When you wake up with hope, you wake up with power. Hope makes you resilient. Hope gives you the ability to keep moving when others quit. Hope gives you the stamina to pray again, try again, dream again. Hope gives you the courage to confront fear, break cycles, and rise above limitations. Hope is the fuel of purpose. When you embrace the plan of God, you are not just chasing success. You are fulfilling assignment. And that's where real joy comes from. Fulfillment is not found in possessions. It is found in knowing you are where you are supposed to be, doing what you were born to do. That's why every day matters. That's why you can't afford to be casual with your morning. Your morning is the gate of the day. If the enemy can rob your morning, he can distract your destiny. But when you open your morning with Jeremiah 29, you take authority. You remind yourself, this is the day the Lord has made. I will rejoice and be glad in it because His plan still stands. When you live from that place, storms won't shake you, delays won't break you, criticism won't move you. You will have a calm in the chaos. You will have clarity in the confusion, because you know, my Father has already gone ahead of me. And even if the road is rough, I know the destination is sure. Even if I don't understand the season, I trust the one who wrote the story. And when you trust the author, you don't panic in the middle. You keep walking until you see the promise fulfilled. You are not just waking up to another day. You are waking up to a divine assignment. You are waking up to walk in something God already prepared. You are waking up to fulfill a calling that heaven is depending on. So wake up strong, wake up focused, Wake up anointed. Wake up intentional. Wake up with the word in your mouth and the fire of purpose in your spirit. This is your season to walk in everything God has already spoken. The enemy is terrified of a person who knows the plan. He wants you confused. He wants you discouraged. He wants you passive. But when you wake up every morning and declare Jeremiah 29, you send a message to the kingdom of darkness. I am not wandering. I am walking in destiny. I am not lost. I am led. I am not afraid. I am aligned, and I will see everything God has promised me come to pass. So begin your day with purpose. Speak life. Speak hope. Speak faith. Don't wait until you feel it. Declare it until you see it. Start your day with Jeremiah 29, and let that word guide your decisions, fuel your actions, and anchor your soul. Because when you start your day with divine truth, the rest of the day must submit to the authority of that truth. And if you ever feel like you're behind, remember, you're right on schedule in the plan of a God who controls time. If you feel like nothing is happening, remember, God does his best work in silence. And if you feel like giving up, remember, this verse wasn't just written for encouragement. It was written as a decree. I know the plans I have for you. That's the decree that still echoes over your life. So live like it, speak like it, walk like it, and never let a day go by without reminding your soul, my future is secure, my purpose is clear, and my God is faithful, because he knows the plan, and that changes everything. There comes a point in every believer's journey when you must decide who will define your life, your situation or your revelation. That is why it is not enough to simply hear Jeremiah 29:11. You must internalize it until it becomes the lens through which you see everything. Too many people are walking through life with blurred vision. They're not blind. They just haven't cleaned the lens. The lens is stained with disappointment, fogged by fear, and cracked by rejection. But when you wake up and declare that God knows the plan, your vision gets restored. Your focus sharpens and you stop reacting to life and start walking with authority. You were never meant to live by the opinions of others. You were never meant to be defined by circumstances. You were designed to live from the inside out. That means your internal truth must override external chaos. And the truth is this: there is a divine strategy behind every step you take. Every detour is a classroom. Every delay is a molding process. Every struggle is not a punishment, it's preparation. When you know the plan, you don't waste pain, you don't curse the process. You embrace it because you know it's all part of a larger picture that your current mind may not yet grasp. When God declares that he has a plan to prosper you, you must ask yourself, am I aligned with that plan? Am I posturing my heart, my habits, my decisions in such a way that I become a participant in what he's trying to do? Because God won't force you into greatness, he will invite you into it. He will position opportunities, but he will not drag you through doors you're unwilling to walk through. Purpose requires partnership. The plan of God demands your cooperation. You must surrender your personal agenda and trade it for divine strategy. That is not always easy, because God's plan often contradicts your preference. But if you are going to see what he promised, you must trust the process over your preference. There is something powerful about trust. Trust is not a feeling. It is a decision. It is waking up every morning and saying, even when I don't understand it, I still believe it. It's choosing to believe that God's track record is flawless, and if he's been faithful before, he'll be faithful again. That's what separates those who walk in victory from those who remain in cycles. One group makes a decision to trust beyond what they can see. The other lives by what they feel. You were not created to be a slave to your emotions. You were created to be led by revelation. You must realize that before God reveals the what, he often reveals the why. And the why of your existence is bigger than your career, your reputation, your income, or your comfort. The why is kingdom impact. The why is transformation. The why is becoming the fullest expression of what God placed inside you before you were born. And that's why the enemy wants to distract you with lesser pursuits. He wants you busy but not fruitful, active but not effective. He wants you addicted to the applause of people and allergic to the process of becoming. But when you wake up every day with Jeremiah 29:11 on your lips, you remind yourself, I am not living for applause. I am living for assignment. You don't have time to waste another year in confusion. You don't have the luxury to spend another day doubting what God already confirmed. Your life is too precious. The call is too significant. The impact you were born to make is too massive for you to sit in fear, questioning if you are enough. Hear me, God never calls the qualified, He qualifies the called. He doesn't need your perfection, He needs your participation. He's not looking for flawless vessels, He's looking for surrendered hearts. There are some days when all you will have to stand on is a word. No evidence, no signs, just a word, and that's enough. Because God does not need human permission to fulfill His promise. When He speaks, all of creation begins to align. Things shift, people move, doors open, resources show up. You may not see it in the natural yet, but in the spirit, things are already rearranging themselves to make way for your purpose. When you declare Jeremiah 29 each morning, you step into that divine alignment. You are telling the earth, make room, purpose is waking up. The more you immerse yourself in the plan of God, the less attached you become to temporary things. You stop obsessing over timelines, comparing yourself to others, and trying to force doors open that God has already shut. You begin to understand that delay is not denial, it's development, and development is not punishment, it's preparation. Some of the things you're praying for would destroy you if you received them too early. So God, in His mercy, slows things down not to hurt you, but to build you, to mature you, to align your heart with His will. You must grow into what you're praying for. That's why the waiting season is holy. That's why the hidden season is sacred. God does not hide you to punish you. He hides you to prepare you. When He is about to reveal something powerful, He often conceals it first. The hiding season is when He protects the seed of destiny before it blooms. So if you feel unseen, be encouraged. It's not rejection, it's preservation. You are not overlooked. You are being overshadowed for a reason. And while you are in that process, keep declaring the word. Keep aligning your thoughts, your words, and your choices with the truth of Jeremiah 29. Because the more you speak it, the more it becomes your reality. Words create worlds, and your declaration sets the tone for your destination. If you wake up every day speaking defeat, you will start to live in defeat. But if you speak promise, you will live with expectation. Expectation is the breeding ground of miracles. Expectation attracts favor. Expectation changes your posture. People who expect something live differently. They show up differently, they walk with purpose, they prepare in advance. If you believe God has a plan for your life, then you must start living like it. Prepare for the opportunity before it arrives, study for the platform before it opens, build the discipline now for the doors that will come later, because when preparation meets divine timing, manifestation becomes inevitable. Every morning you wake up is a gift. It is another page in the book of your destiny. Don't waste the page. Don't allow fear, comparison, or distraction to rob you of what could be the most pivotal day in your journey. Every day holds potential for breakthrough. Every day holds divine appointments. Every day is another chance to walk closer to what God has spoken. So don't take your mornings lightly. Let Jeremiah 29 be the anthem of your awakening. You may not have all the answers, but you have the truth. You may not see every step, but you have the light for the next one. That's what it means to walk by faith. Faith is not denial of reality. It is trust in a greater reality. It is saying, God, I may not know how, but I know you. And because I know you, I will keep moving forward. That kind of faith makes the enemy nervous. That kind of faith activates the supernatural. That kind of faith opens doors that no man can shut. You were not created to blend in. You were not designed to live beneath your potential. There is a kingdom assignment on your life. There is a divine blueprint in your spirit. And every day that you wake up is another day to build what heaven has written. So rise with purpose, Speak with power, move with clarity. Let Jeremiah 29 not just be your morning devotion, let it be your lifestyle declaration. And when you feel weary, when the weight of waiting becomes heavy, when the battles intensify, don't run away from the promise, run to it. Speak it louder, declare it bolder, because your breakthrough is often on the other side of your persistence. Heaven responds to resilience. The plan of God is not fragile. It won't break under pressure. It won't be cancelled by opposition, but it requires your agreement. It requires your endurance. It requires you to keep showing up when it doesn't make sense. There will come a moment, maybe when you least expect it, when the pieces will align, when the doors will open, when the prayers will turn into testimonies, and when that moment comes, you will look back and thank God that you didn't quit. You will thank Him for every no, every delay, every detour, because you will see how it all led to the right yes. You will realize that the journey was not just about getting to the destination. It was about becoming the person who could carry the promise. So today, rise up, wipe the doubt from your eyes, shake the fear from your soul, and start your day with divine confidence, not because everything is perfect, but because the one who planned your life is perfect. And if He knows the plan, you don't have to know every detail. You just have to trust, obey, and walk boldly. This is your moment. This is your season. This is your day. Don't live it in fear. Don't live it in confusion. Don't live it in regret. Live it with the certainty that your steps are ordered, your future is secure, and your life is not random. It is strategic because He knows the plan, and that plan is good. There is something powerful about waking up each morning with a word that refuses to bow to your circumstances. The world will try to dictate your mood, your mindset, and your momentum. But when you begin your day by anchoring yourself in the unshakable truth that God knows the plan, you become immovable. Your spirit becomes steady. You begin to walk with an unexplainable boldness, not because you know everything, but because you know the one who does. The moment you embrace this truth as your foundation, you stop being a victim of your day and start becoming the architect of your response. People who live with purpose don't allow the news, the economy, or their past to dictate their future. They rise with clarity. They understand that they are not subject to the world. They are sent to change it. And when you live by Jeremiah 29, you begin to realize that you're not trying to survive. You're called to build, to lead, to shift, and to establish. You carry blueprints from heaven. You are not here by accident. Your very presence is prophetic. It is an announcement that God is still writing history through those who dare to believe. So many people begin their days in defeat, repeating thoughts that drain their destiny. They say things like nothing ever works out for me, or I'll never get out of this, or my life doesn't matter. And every time they speak like that, they are agreeing with a lie. But the truth is, when you start your day with God's word, you declare war against lies. You silence the voice of fear. You dismantle the confusion. You dethrone anxiety. You rise with the roar of heaven in your mouth and the fire of destiny in your bones. You don't just quote the scripture. You become the embodiment of it. Jeremiah 29:11 was not just a verse for ancient Israel. It is a living, breathing word for every generation that dares to trust God when everything looks uncertain. It is a divine whisper to your weary soul that says, I have not forgotten you. I have not changed my mind. I have not abandoned the blueprint. I still know the plan. And that alone should shift how you walk, how you think, how you pray, how you speak. When the Creator of the universe says He knows the plan, your responsibility is not to figure it all out. Your responsibility is to align, to obey, and to believe. The reason many people fail to step into their next season is not because God changed His planets because they stopped believing. They got tired in the whole way between prophecy and fulfillment. But hear me, the whole way is not a waste of time. It is the place where character is carved, where clarity is given, and where conviction is tested. If you're in the hallway, don't curse it. Don't despise it. Don't try to rush through it. Let it shape you. Let it sharpen you. Let it strip away everything that cannot go with you into your promise. Because when you arrive at the door God has prepared, you don't want to still be carrying the insecurities of the last season. And while you're walking through that hallway, remind yourself daily that your value is not in what you do, but in who you are. God didn't say, I know the plan I have for the pastors, or the prophets, or the influencers. He said, I know the plans I have for you. That includes the broken, the overlooked, the underestimated. That includes the ones who feel like they've made too many mistakes, the ones who think it's too late, the ones who feel like giving up. God didn't draft his plan based on your performance. He drafted it based on your purpose. And his purpose still stands. Some mornings it will take everything in you just to whisper those words. He knows the plan. Especially when the bills are stacked, the diagnosis is bad, the friends walk away, and the opportunities seem dry. But that's exactly when you need to say it the most, not because your situation looks good, but because your foundation is not built on what you see. It is built on what he said, and what he said is eternal. What he said is unbreakable. What he said is enough to carry you through storms and deserts, through trials and tears, through silence and seasons of testing. So today, and every day after this, let your life begin with this unshakable declaration. God still knows the plan. No matter how dark the night has been, no matter how long the waiting season has lasted, no matter how many times you've fallen, you are not forgotten and you are not finished. The author of your story is still writing. The potter is still shaping. The master planner has not altered the blueprint of your destiny. His word has not expired and his hand has not withdrawn. Every breath in your lungs is evidence that purpose is still in motion. You didn't wake up to wander. You woke up to walk in alignment. You woke up to partner with heaven. You woke up to build, to plant, to grow, to rise. So don't live as if your days are meaningless. Don't live by sight when faith is your birthright. Don't be guided by fear when the Spirit of the Lord lives within you. You are not at the mercy of your past. You are walking in the mercy of God. You are not defined by what happened. You are defined by what he declared. And he declared that his plan for you is to prosper you, not to harm you, to give you a future, to give you hope. And when the voice of the enemy tells you it's too late, you remind him that heaven's timing is never off. When doubt creeps in, silence it with faith. When fear rises up, cast it down with the truth. Stand firm, be rooted, walk boldly, and remember, this isn't just about your dream, it's about his purpose. And if it's his purpose, it cannot fail. Let Jeremiah 29 not just be a scripture you read. It must become the compass that guides every step you take. Let it drive you to seek him daily, to surrender your will, to live with intentionality and fire. For when you live from the place of purpose, you become unstoppable, you become immovable, you become a force that hell cannot contend with. You become a living testimony of what happens when heaven's plan is trusted over man's opinions. So rise, build, believe, because the plan still stands, the promise is still alive, and the God who spoke it is faithful to complete it. He knows the plan, walk in it, live like it, start each day with it. And don't you ever forget it. That kind of resilience doesn't come from religion. It comes from relationship. You must know the one who speaks the plan, not just the plan itself. When you seek him, you receive access not only to his promises, but to his presence. And his presence is what sustains you when the promise feels far away. It is in the presence of God that you are reminded of your identity. It is in the presence of God that fear melts and faith rises. It is in the presence of God that you stop chasing validation from people who were never meant to approve your destiny. This generation is hungry for clarity, but they're looking for it in all the wrong places. They chase clarity in horoscopes, in algorithms, in social media likes, in the opinions of people who don't even know who they are. But clarity doesn't come from culture. It comes from the Creator. And the more time you spend with him, the more you begin to see as he sees. think as he thinks, and live as he intended. You begin to recognize the whispers of his spirit in the noise. You begin to discern the counterfeit from the real. And suddenly, the plan isn't just a verse, it becomes your reality. Do not let the noise of this world drown out the whisper of God. Do not let urgency rob you of intimacy. There is a depth of wisdom, peace, and direction that only comes from stillness in his presence. When you wake up each day and center your heart on Jeremiah 29, you are making a declaration that your life is not driven by pressure, but by purpose. You are stating that before the meetings, before the emails, before the deadlines, you will first align with heaven. Purpose-driven people live differently. They are not perfect, but they are precise. They may not have it all together, but they are anchored. They don't move with the wind. They move by the word. And every decision they make, every relationship they form, every opportunity they accept, is filtered through one question. Does this align with the plan God has for me? Because if it doesn't align, it is a distraction. And distractions may feel good for a moment, but they always delay your assignment. Some doors look good, but they lead to nowhere. Some opportunities come dressed like favor, but are actually traps. That's why you need discernment. And discernment comes from devotion, not just a Sunday devotion, but a lifestyle of daily surrender. The kind of surrender that says, not my will, but yours be done. The kind of surrender that lays down the idols of ambition, recognition, and self-glory and says, God, if it's not in your plan, I don't want it. You must reach a point in your walk where peace matters more than platform, where obedience matters more than outcome, where character matters more than clout, because what God has for you will not require you to compromise your integrity to get it. His plan is not manipulative. His plan is not rushed. His plan will not destroy your soul in the process of fulfilling your purpose. The blessing of the Lord makes rich, and he adds no sorrow to it. When it's his plan, it comes with grace. It comes with joy. It comes with the anointing to sustain it. That's why you must grow into the kind of person who can carry what you've been praying for. Everyone wants the promise, but few are willing to become the person the promise requires. And sometimes God doesn't delay the plan because he's punishing you. He delays it because he's preparing you. He's protecting you from entering a season too soon, because premature exposure will crush what immaturity cannot carry. And if you truly believe he knows the plan, you'll thank him for the delays just as much as you thank him for the doors. So rise up each morning with the heart of a builder. Speak to your soul and declare that today is not random. Today is not ordinary. Today is part of the tapestry of divine orchestration that God is weaving for your life. You are not waking up to waste time. You are waking up to fulfill purpose. Everything you do today, how you speak, how you treat people, how you steward your thoughts, your health, your time, it all matters. It all echoes into eternity. This is not the season to live passively. This is the season to live prophetically. Every step you take should be aligned with the whispers of God's heart. Every conversation should carry the fragrance of purpose. Every encounter should reflect the glory of the one who sent you. Because you are not here to blend in. You are here to represent heaven. You are a living letter, a walking prophecy, a testimony of what happens when a person dares to believe that God knows the plan. So don't just quote Jeremiah 29. Become it. Let it shape your mindset. Let it fuel your prayers. Let it guide your decisions. Let it silence your fears. Let it elevate your vision. Let it wake you up and carry you through every valley, every test, every delay, every challenge. Let it anchor you when storms rage and when clarity seems far. Because no matter what it looks like, no matter what people say, no matter how long it takes, he still knows the plan, and that plan is good.